Okay, part 3. What other energetic changes have I been experiencing? Well, I've been seeing auras a lot more frequently, or at least what I think are auras. Now, this is one circumstance where I can use the word think and mean it, because I'm not sure on this. I'm not 100% sure if they're auras. All I know for sure is I'm seeing outlines around things. And these outlines are quite thick. They look like energy, or at least what I believe energy to look like. And they differ in colour from person to person, from object to object. Sounds like an aura, right? Pretty sure they're auras. But an interesting thing is, throughout the majority of my life, I always presumed that auras were only something you saw around people or animals. You know, conscious things, or at least things that we perceive as conscious. But that's not the case. I'm seeing outlines around everything, including inanimate objects, like this MacBook, like my speakers, like my computer screen, because that's going to sound confusing, because I've actually got my MacBook here, and then my main PC screen is behind it. You might be thinking, like, why has he got two computer screens? But I haven't actually got a webcam on the other computer, so I use the built-in webcam on my partner's MacBook. Yes, explanations. That's another thing I need to stop doing so much of. 1, don't show your armpit hair to the world. 2, I need to stop trying to explain myself so much to people. That's something I do far too much of. I will say something, and then in my head I will hear a hater or a critic say, "Oh well, but if you said this, what does this mean? Doesn't that contradict that?" Yeah, I overanalyze things, and it's almost as if I give too much energy to the people that don't believe. Now, the example there with the computer screens isn't a great one, but it kind of shows what I'm getting at. Like, in the past, I would have filmed a video, and I'll be saying something, and then I'll think, oh yeah, but you need to clarify that, because that could actually be misconstrued. That really could be taken the wrong way, and that could be perceived as a contradiction, even though it's not. So you need to backtrack here, and you need to explain yourself, and you need to... Man, I need to stop doing that. Because at the end of the day, I'm not lying about anything. This is all happening to me. Everything I've ever said in any of my videos has happened. It's obviously up for debate, the interpretation. Like the Awakening series is a perfect example of that. You can interpret that in all sorts of ways. One of those ways being that I'm just messed up from all the drugs I did in the past and I'm delusional. You know, that is obviously one way of interpreting it. I don't believe that at all, but I'm more than willing to accept that as your view. One thing I'm not willing to accept is people actually saying that I'm just outright lying. Oh, you never had a past life regression. You never actually saw that stuff. Well, no, I did. Okay? It's as simple as that. You can say that I've misinterpreted it, but you can't say that I just didn't experience these things. I did. here I go again, explaining myself. This is what I mean. It's like I've just given you a real life example of what I mean by how I explain myself too much. You either believe me or you don't. And if you don't, that's fine. I've got to stop trying to win you over. That felt important, saying that. This feels cathartic, actually. And thanks for the people that are actually sticking with this. I appreciate it. Okay, so let's move on to something else. I get a feeling that this is really going to resonate with people. I get the feeling that other people have been experiencing this as well. My hearing and my ears are starting to function differently. Not only has my sense of hearing increased, it's like it's become more focused. I can close my eyes and tune into a sound that is happening quite far away and get right up by it. And I've been practicing this actually. I've been learning how to harness it and develop it. And again, it feels important. There's just all these things recently that intuitively feel relevant, pertinent, important. One of these things is the hearing, but also another thing that's been happening is my ears have been popping a lot, at least 2 or 3 times a day, and it's actually evolved into something more than just popping. In the past I was just like, oh yeah, that's that feeling you get when the altitude changes, when you go up in a, you go up in a car on a mountain road or something, or you go up in an aeroplane and your ears pop. You know what I'm talking about. That shift in altitude and something pops. But this was happening when I was just sitting around, just minding my own business, not really doing anything spectacular, and just pop. The interesting thing is it's evolved into what I now call a creaking. It's almost as if a door is creaking open within my ears. Sounds weird, right? And it is weird. It is very weird. And every time it happens, I think, what the hell was that? It really is bizarre. It's like this. It's weird, man. It really is weird stuff. Another thing I've been experiencing is sudden, sharp, intense ringing. Just be sitting there, out of nowhere. And it goes as quickly as it comes. It comes very suddenly, and it goes very suddenly. And it rarely stays for longer than 10 seconds. It does sometimes. There's been some times where that wasn't grammatically correct. There has been moments where it lasts for a while. There's been moments where it lasts for over a minute, but that's rare. That's very, very rare. More often than not, it's a short, sharp burst. And again, I'm showing my armpit hair. And again, I'm running out of time.